But today we're gonna start judging an event. It's speed and style time today. I'm gonna be talking to you about the style aspect of this event right now. I'm standing at jump number 1. You see this very tall ramp pretty close to the start gate. The riders are still going to have a lot of energy and they're going to be able to throw a big trick here, which is going to equate to a time deduction, saving some time in this race. And we're looking at the landing right here where the rider's gonna have to get their feet right back on the pedals, their hands back on the bars, and start sprinting for the racing section of this course. Alan, you're standing by some rollers. Talk to me about the speed aspect of this race.
Yeah, Cam, and talking about speed, these riders are gonna have to flip that switch to speed while they're still in the air on that trick jump, because as soon as they land, they gotta get back on the pedals, whip around the turn, and then they're gonna come through right here on a super fast acceleration. This right here is very similar to a BMX track. We're gonna see riders like Caroline Buchanan and Baz, some of those pump track specialists, really using that skill to be able to pump the backsides of these obstacles to get all the momentum that they're worth. All of that speed is gonna spool up towards the bottom with a huge bull turn, no brakes down to the Showtime booter.
And speaking of that Showtime booter, I'm standing right next to it at the moment. This jump is considerably larger than the first jump, but you're also going to be considerably more fatigued. There's a bit more separation between you and the rider next to you. You see these preliminary rounds taking place right now. And after this final opportunity for a trick, there's a couple more flat corners before you trip those lights, Alan.
That's right, the flat turns. Arguably the most technical part of this speed and style course. It doesn't look like much, but the decision on this race is gonna come down to these final few turns. 3 gates, no berms, slippery gravel. This is where it's gonna pay off to be on a little bit more of a trail bike. So we're gonna see those riders with different styles and different bikes really have those benefits along the way down the course. They're gonna put that power down all the way across the finish line for their fastest time.
Well, speaking of crossing the finish line quick, Alan, you made some pretty good time from the middle of the course to the bottom. CGI? Maybe. All right, Alan, talk to me about the race portion here.
Well, the race portion is pretty self-explanatory. The fastest one from the top to the bottom is going to get the fastest time, but it's not over there. We have another way to deduct time from your finish line time.
So in this example, I have some ground to make up. Luckily, we got these 2 jumps on the course. For example, if I do a pretty good trick on jump number 1 and I score pretty high, I'm going to have more time taken off of my run than you are. Is it going to be enough? I have a second jump to do it as well, but then we crunch all the numbers after the judges have done their scores. And in this example, Alan, I'll let you do the honors.
Yeah, well, tricks are for kids, Cam, and I'm a little bit too old, so I'm going to be keeping the speed down, and that's what got me the win on this one.
Well, that's how speed and style works. It's an exciting race format. Let's get into it. Starts right now.
Crankworx is it's a crazy thing to be involved in.
It's hectic, but you're in it and you're just like loving it.
A reunion of friends and people in different cultures.
All these cool different locations, all these different tracks.
There's always so much stuff going on.
People are just stoked on biking, and they're just stoked to be here.
Hearing so much energy around.
We live for that.
Please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened. Thank you and enjoy your flight.
Let's do this. Speed and style Rotorua. 8 men, 8 women have flown their way through the rounds of 32 and 16 to find themselves into the round of 8 as we fly through this course right now, courtesy of this FPV drone. What a beautiful course it is, Alan.
Yeah, magnificent course up here, halfway up the hill here in Skyline Rotorua. You can see this is where these riders are going to be accelerating speeds well over 40, maybe even 50 kilometers an hour coming around in this final turn. The G-forces they're going to be feeling in here is going to be practically ripping their faces off.
That was
coming
fun.
down for this showtime.
When we were hanging out courtside just moments ago, I was standing right alongside this big jump. There's a ton of airtime right there, and I noticed that they have way more speed than they need. You're seeing riders who are riding clipless pedals, unclipping in the flat bottom, getting ready for their variations, and things have heated up to the point where we have found ourselves here. The round of 8 for the women. Look at some big names on there.
Yeah, we're looking at some big names here. We're seeing something a little familiar. We got Caroline Buchanan, our fastest qualifier in today's qualifying. We got a few other big time hitters. Robin Goombs out there. She's one of the first riders we saw doing flips going upside down. So it's going to be interesting to see what she's got to really keep her scores going and keep this flowing throughout the race.
Well, let's get right into it. Let's get racing. We've got Natasha Bradley going up against Caroline Buchanan. Caroline been busy all week. She took the win in the air DH. She took the win last night in the pump track, and she's in true form right now. Great qualifying result. She's going up against Natasha Bradley, who qualified 8th. Caroline Buchanan, the woman to beat right now with that number 1 next to her name from qualifying.
So things to keep an eye on with Caroline. Watch this gate start. She is a BMX Olympian, BMX world champion, so she's going to have those gate starts on lock. But a little bit new for her is the trick side of things. You see her getting that tuck no hander off. Both riders able to get them out. Yeah. Really accelerating through these. We see a couple different styles, pedaling over, manualing over. Caroline really accelerating through this final turn.
So Caroline with the tuck no hander on jump number 1. What does she have for us on jump number 2? A toboggan. Natasha Bradley missing the trick. You can hear her. She's bummed out about missing the trick. She's going to be even more bummed out about missing that gate.
So that's going to be a maximum time differential, which is 2 seconds for missing that gate. But she's also going to have some time maybe even added to that when we add in missing a trick and Caroline getting some tricks down. So we'll have to see how it all shapes up. Looking back and seeing how we got them to the bottom. Cam, was there anything you saw out of Caroline?
Yeah, right here. She didn't get the best extension on this tuck no-hander, but she got them off. I think Natasha had more extension on that suicide no-hander. 2 different methods of stabilizing the bike when you take your hands off. Here's another good look. More extension out of Natasha. We'll see if the judges reward her for that. But you know what? It's going to be a tough go for her when they switch sides and go for this again because she missed that gate right here at the bottom.
Yeah, Caroline not getting quite the extension we're used to seeing out of her on both of her tricks, so definitely some room to improve, but that's how it is for these events. You know, they're going to be building their speed, building the extension as the comfort comes in, hitting these jumps time and time again. We're off and running. I'm excited for this next heat.
So Jenna Hastings, Georgia Astel. We always love this in these round of 8 matchups when we see 2 riders going up against each other who qualified very, very close. Jenna Hastings was the number 5 qualifier, while Georgia Astel from Canada qualified 4th.
Both riders with a clean start. Looks like Jenna has a slight advantage. This actually being Jenna's first time competing in the speed and style, just making the decision last night to come on in, qualifying top 5, so showing she has potential in this dual discipline jump, trick, and race speed format. Both riders coming in. They're going to even up here. Georgia pulling right alongside.
Oh, a suicide no-hander for Georgia, and it looked like another toboggan there for Jenna. Oh, issues with the gates there for Georgia as well, it looks like.
Yeah, really close on time. Looked like Jenna was able to get maybe a tire grab off on that last set. It's really unique how you see those the course. One of the things that's unique about this speed and style is you're actually right next to your competitor. You see where they are on the track and it gets inside your head, but as you see on that last turn, on the left side of the course, it's a little bit shorter, so it really brings them back around. So you have to stay calm when you see your guy in front of you. Here we are, jump 1. That toboggan out of Jenna.
Synchronized swimming there, dual T-bogs. Toboggan basically taking one of your hands off, grabbing the seat with it. You're going to get more points if you style out those bars. Let's see, who do you think had the best T-bog here? Second jump here. Good suicide no-hander for Georgia, but the big question is, how did that, it was a tire grab for Jenna. How did that final gate go for Georgia? We're going to get a good look at it here.
Yeah, keep an eye on her tires. You got to keep the tires on the outside of the gates. It's okay if that pedal's clipping. That's all right, she got that foot, but you see there, she's a little offline. Can she get back around it? It looks like the tires just stayed in, possibly. We're going to have to default to the judge's call on there, but looked like maybe her tires were able to stay in. Definitely not the line she wanted.
We're going to take a look back at jump number 1 here. Both of the riders with the same trick. Alan, who do you think styled it out the best?
Well, I think Jenna had a little bit better style. You see how her bars turned a little bit. That's really what we're talking about when we're talking about a toboggan. It's not just a seat grab, but watch her bars turn sideways. So she pulls that hand that's still on the grip and just really kind of pokes that front end out. That's a proper, true toboggan.
And that was good, especially considering that this is Jenna's first speed and style race. She's figuring it out quick.
Absolutely. Bike control, bike handling skills is going to cross over to this format in a big, big way. And we know Jenna has bike control.
She's not afraid to send either, huh?
Absolutely not. I saw her life flash before my eyes in that downhill run, but it was nice to see her pull it off. Just a testament to that skill.
So we got Martha Gill and Harriet Burbage-Smith, AKA Haz. Haz was the 3rd place qualifier. Martha qualified in 6th here, run number 1 here for their round of 8 matchup.
Rider 6.
Yeah, you could tell maybe Martha putting a little bit of time in on the stunts over the break. Saw some things in the earlier rounds I was quite impressed about. Let's see if she can get them out. Gate snaps down both riders with a very good gate start. Harriet maybe a slight advantage coming into this first jump.
Oh, no!
Both riders making some mistakes there. Looks like Harriet, unfortunately, goes down. Martha taking a quick look back, make sure she's all right. That's one of the unique things about Crankworx. All of these riders, as deep of competitors as they're actually all friends. Nice toboggan out on that final jump, just keeping it smooth, keeping it smart, making sure she crosses that beam without missing any flags.
Well, that's a good sign. Oh man, 2 big crashes for Haz. You know, I was impressed to see her up and finishing that run because she under-rotated that back flip on the first jump. Another crash on the second jump, trying to finish that run off. Do you hear the song they're playing right now? There we go. That's always a good sign when we see the crowd clapping after a rider hits the dirt.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what happened there. I don't know if there's gusts of wind that are coming up. It looked like as soon as she got in the air and took her hand off, the nose just started diving. She was over jumping by a little bit, but we've seen riders doing that. That's one of those things. You know, any of the riders out there that have done tricks, you know, usually you have a very, you know, specific speed you want to be going on these tricks, but these riders are racing and tricking.
Left side of your screen here, Haz going for the backflip. Big under rotation. You see she was trying to squeeze those elbows in to get that front tire down on the ground.
Yeah, watch her elbow. See her tuck in and almost sit down. She's trying to make that circle smaller and bit that rotation up. And it looks like her head stopped rotating just a little bit early. And unfortunately just bouncing off into Martha's lane there. Luckily, Martha was able to keep on going.
All that weight up into the handlebars, not far back enough to get that spin going quick. And you know what? You might be right about this one, Alan. This looks like a little bit of a wind blow scenario, perhaps. Just trying to get off the bike to bail smoothly, but she gets hung up on the top tube.
Yeah, pretty big impact there for Harriet. Let's hope she's going to be okay to come back for that round 2. It's not over, but it's going to be quite a steep hill to climb for her to get back and beat out Martha Gill in that next round.
Well, Shania Rossen, the number 7 qualifier, going up against Robin Goombs, who qualified in 2nd place. Robin is definitely a rider who's been pushing her trick game a ton the last couple of years. Let's see what she's bringing into this 2023 season.
Yeah, keep your eyes out for some fireworks. Robin excelling on the trick side of this, but she's definitely not slow. So let's keep these riders in view and see what they got.
Yeah, Robin gets the backflip clean.
Robin getting the backflip, but a little bit off, had to grab the brakes, losing a little bit of speed. Shania able to accelerate down these rollers and into the final turn. Robin's gonna have to make up some time as well as send a big trick on this last jump. What she got, Cam?
Robin going for another flip, so she's definitely going to cross the finish line 2nd, but she's going to be heavily rewarded by the risks taken on jump 1 and jump 2, looping them both.
It's running fast, yeah. I was honestly like at the bottom of the
Oh, it's so fun listening to them chat over the run at the bottom there. You got to think only 0.19 separating these two riders. Robin on the right side of your screen here from this camera angle going for the backflip. She's going to score really high for that. But you know what? She lost a lot of speed. She landed rider's left going into that right-hand berm.
Yeah, it looks like she drifts a little bit to that rider's left like you're talking about here, and it's just not pointed into that turn. And that's really where the, the diabolical aspect of this really comes in. You're not just stunting. You got to stunt and you got to get back on those pedals. You got to be pointed in the right direction. Nice tire grab out of Shania right there.
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a good example of playing defense. When you know the rider next to you has what it takes to go upside down and get those points, the trick that you can do is really going to narrow that gap. So very doable there. You know, if Robin can get back up there, she's only got 0.19. If she can do both of those flips but not hang up on that right-hand berm after jump number 1, she's definitely got an opportunity to advance into the round of 4. Here's a look at who has the advantages right now after run 1 in the round of 8 for the women.
Yeah, we got a couple of possible upsets there in Heat 3 and Heat 4 shaping themselves up, but it's never over in speed and style. That's the thing. Not only is it not only over because you have another run, but while you're on course, you can actually see how far ahead the rider is and make a decision. You know, I need to do this extra trick. I need to make up that time. So it's really, really exciting from beginning to end in this format.
Well, we're going to get the men loaded up into the gate. We have our reigning king of Crankworx, Bass Van Steenbergen, in the competition today. He qualified 5th. It's good being the king. Take a look at how Bass is living. Being a king has its perks. When you're at the top, you got to settle for no less than the best.
That's for sure.
I can get used to this.
Well, you got to win King of Crankworx.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. I'm just gonna hang out with you. 4 months is not a very long time, Beth.
It's a pretty short off season.
Are you even good at bike riding anymore?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out this week.
Hey, Beth. Beth, you still there?
Yeah. I'm here.
I can smell your lactic acid from here. How important is recovery for you?
Recovery is pretty important. You got to be all ready to go before the events start, especially right now. It's a short off season, so recovery is on the top of my list.
What do you do with the lactic acid once you're done with it?
You like to cycle it out of the muscles and throw it away.
Do kids ask for it, like, as a souvenir?
That sounds terrible.
Fast?
Cam?
What's your greatest weakness?
Probably tricks.
Yeah, I've noticed it.
Yeah? Thanks.
What is your greatest fear?
Probably crashing on tricks.
That makes sense. What's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Vanilla?
Boring.
Yeah, I know.
Just kidding, that's my favorite too.
Okay.
Should we, like, get some?
That is ridiculous. Let's see, this is the 9th year we've been coming here to Rotorua. You spent a lot of time here. Do you kind of practice here sometimes as well, or are you mostly floating around Queenstown?
Yeah, I've actually, like this year I went to Queenstown, but in the past I've spent quite a bit of time here. I think it's actually kind of an underrated spot. Like, it has everything you need for training and racing and everything, so yeah, it's such a good spot for it. And it's pretty low key, which I kind of like as well.
Kind of starts to feel like, like a homey vibe too, doesn't it?
For sure, yeah, it definitely kind of feels like a second home a little bit. I know lots of people, I usually stay with a family here, and yeah, it's just like super comfortable getting back here, which is nice.
The trails are ridiculous.
And the trails are insane.
I gotta get rolling. Believe it or not, I got a 5 o'clock appointment. It's a Swedish massage this time.
All right.
But I'll see you around. Good luck this week.
Yeah. Bye.
Hey Siri, call Emil Johansson. Yo, dude, my last appointment ran a little long. I'm gonna be a touch late. Sweet, see you in a bit. Oh, that was fun. Oh, take a look. This is good to see. has up and cruising. Got a feeling she's on her way to the medical tent to get checked out, so it's always good to see the rider pop back up like that. That was 2 heavy slams. Well, on to the men right now. Let's take a look at how we found ourselves into the round of 8. Some highlights from round of 16, Alan.
Yeah, we see Lemoine doing what he does. Undefeated last year in the Crankworx series in this category. Keeping it real smooth. Look how clean he is, just doing what he needs to do, not taking any risks. Gonna build throughout the day.
Lemoine fans rejoice. He's here. He swept the series last year, all 4 events. Here's Lucas Gill out of Sweden going up against Sam Blankenstop.
Yeah, watch Sam Blankenstop and the energy that he has. Unfortunately there for Lucas, having to give it up for Blankenstop, but Blankenstop on that trail bike really making those corners work for him.
So there's the reigning king right there. He's fully massaged and ice creamed and ready to rip. Bass fan Steenbergen going up against Dylan Crane here in the round of 16.
Yeah, Dylan really working those tricks, getting multiple combos out. Nice backflip there. Clean through the course. Just not enough to keep our king down.
Bass made it through. Here's a good one, Kate Edwards and Niels Bensink.
Yeah, Kate Edwards, a name you might see on the World Cup. Look at that huge double truck out of Kate, looking so smooth and so good. They pull up side by side on the Showtime booter. Big backflip bar spin out of Cade. Something earlier today, he did a backflip double bar spin, which I think he said was the first time he had ever done it to dirt.
Look out for Cade in this one. He took a podium in the whip off. He's been looking so strong. He's a guy who's really cut out for speed and style, I'd say, so it's exciting to see him with that 3rd place qualifying result going up against Duke Millington. We got Lil Rojo, Garrett Meacham there, number 2 qualifier. He'll be going up against Chaos Seagrave. And Lemoine, the man who swept the series last year, will be going up against the Kiwi Sam Blankenstop. That will be the first heat we see. And Lemoine riding the full suspension bike here today. I gotta think that's gonna do big things for him. That can only help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unstoppable in the 2022 series, whether it was Austria, Canada, Australia, or New Zealand, he got cozy on the top step of that podium. And you gotta think that confidence does wonders. He'll be competing tomorrow in slopestyle as well, putting on a show here today, going up against Sam Blankenstop. Something we noticed when we were watching Sam Blankenstop go up against Lucas Skjold in the round of 16 is everybody knows Blanky is so fast, and so they dig deeper into their bag of tricks. Lucas dug too deep, tried to do a quad bar, landed with his hands off the bars, but Lemoine has the composure of somebody who won all 4 last season. What's gonna happen?
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one here. Both riders solid out of the gate. You see those different styles over the jumps, gonna be benefiting the bikes that they have. Lemoine getting the triple bar spin out, so he's laying it down. He knows he's going against a fast rider. Blankenstop laying the power down all the way around this course. Here they're gonna pull side by side. Blankenstop with a slight advantage coming into the booter. What's it gonna be for Lemoine? Single bar spin flip through the flat turns, and Blankenstop with all the power. When we add up those time discounts, where's it gonna land?
Getting windy down here, huh?
So Blanky through the line first by 0.7, but Lemoine with that 360 double bar spin to X up top and that backflip bar spin on the bottom jump. He's going to definitely narrow that gap. Let's take a look back at some replays. This is perfectly done here by Lemoine. He didn't do what Skill did in the round of 16 and try to put too many chips on the table. He kept it clean with something he knows is going to score high. And basically doing the same thing on the bottom jump. He knows that Blanky's only going to be doing a toboggan, so he's got that clean backflip bar spin, but because he knows his way around a speed and style course so much, he sets up properly, transfers a little bit in that backflip bar spin to make sure he's setting up on the outside for those flags in the ground, those 3 flat corners before the timing lights.
Yeah, and you heard them talking a little bit there at the bottom. Lemoine was talking about the wind. We definitely feel it coming up a little bit here in the booth, so yet another factor gets thrown in for these speed and style athletes.
Look at that drift. That was such a nice drift there on that second flag from Blanky. All right, once the scores have been put in, Thomas Lemoine is the leader. Those tricks were heavily rewarded. Blanky will have a second and a half to make up when they get onto the other side of the track. Yeah. Can't say enough about this guy here, Mike Ross. He qualified 4th. He's full-time professional mountain biker this season for the first time in his life. He's not doing electrician work anymore, so he's had extra time to train, but he's going up against the reigning king who just snapped the gate.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what sort of tricks Baz's speed is going to pull out of Mike Ross with a huge catch roll over that first trick jump, and Baz just absolutely laying down the power through the rhythm sections, pedaling and pumping at the same time, completely relying on his speed. Look at him go.
Mike Ross is gonna need a big, here we go, front flip Superman. He got the feet off, somehow landed with his feet back on in time to set up for those gates. Bas van Steenbergen definitely crossing the finish line first, but Mike Ross definitely scoring higher for the tricks.
Yeah, Mike Ross going for that Superman front flip. The second one of the day, actually. In the earlier rounds, I heard our counterpart there on the ground, Mikey Hatterer, call out that was the first time that a Superman front flip had been done in this competition, and Baz absolutely dropping the hammer out of the gate.
You hear the kid, good back flip. So tell me about that cash roll. It's a pretty name, but what is it when you're talking about directions of rotation, etc.?
I mean, a catch roll is one of those ones where, is it a 360, is it a flip? It's a flip and a 360. They're going forward, they're spinning either clockwise or counterclockwise as they come around. Having to spot that landing actually twice in a catch roll, one of the more difficult tricks, not only in speed and style, but in style in general. We're gonna see those on the slope style course tomorrow, plenty.
Let's see how the extension was here, right side of your screen. Mike Ross going for that front flip Superman. He got his feet off, more of a front flip, no footer, so I'm thinking the judges probably won't give him full score for a fully extended front flip Superman, but that leaves the door open for him to get more extension in run number 2 once we get them back to the top and switch sides.
Yeah, it's gonna be so interesting when we see these scores tabulated. What's it gonna end up being?
Scores coming in. Mike Ross now the leader, being rewarded for that cash roll. Basically a front flip 360 and that front flip no footer. Hey, he's stoked.
But only half a second, just over half a second, with 0.67 splitting them. So it's definitely not over for Baz. We know he's got more in the tank.
This is a good matchup right here. These are two guys with a lot of tricks, two guys who are both really fast. They both race downhill. They both practice their tricks for fun, and then luckily we've got this event that puts all those skills to the test. Take a look at the tire choices, Alan.
Yeah, we got icons front and rear here on Duke Millington's bike. 50 PSI in the front, 60 in the rear. That's gonna be a good combination for traction and speed on this course. But watch Cade Edwards. If there was ever an archetype for a Crankworx athlete, the skills that this guy has is unbelievable on the bike. Tricks, speed, whatever it needs to be.
Triple truck out of Cade, it looked like.
Triple truck, yeah, both riders clean. Cade extending his lead right there, relying on the speed aspect that he has a deep bag for. Coming into this final Showtime booter, we're gonna see big tricks out of both riders. Cade, there's that double bar spin backflip and a nice front flip out of Duke as they both get straight back on the
Duke down!
Duke slides across the finish line out of the final gate, but did he trip? It looks like he did.
Two questions. Did he trip the gate? Okay, we got an answer to that one. Did he miss the last gate? Tripped the timer, but he may have missed the gate. Front flip tuck no hander for Duke Millington on that last jump.
And Cade on that last jump, getting that backflip double bar spin, the trick he only landed for the first time on dirt yesterday when we were practicing here.
Watch Cade squeeze these 3 bars in the midst of this 360. Right side of your screen. 1, 2, 3. Was it 3?
I don't know, I missed it. I was looking at the other rider there. Both riders absolutely side by side. See with Cade. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Absolutely getting 3 bar spins off. Those first 2 were so fast. He had the first 2 bar spins off and done before he got to his peak air. And there, that new trick for Cade, bar to bar backflip. And you see that tuck no-handed 3 coming through, but keep an eye on these flat turns. That's where things got all wild. We talked about it earlier. The most diabolical part on this final gate. He hops around it a little bit. I think the judges are going to call that. I don't think his front tire was around. He did an amazing effort to get his back tire around that final gate, but it did look like maybe his front tire was over it. We'll see what the judges end up looking at. Again, I'm only looking at it from one angle, and the judges have multiple replays. So let's see what we see here. Cade coming through nice and clean.
Jeez. Oh, I mean, Cade flicked that second one out of its place as well.
Was the front tire over the gate, or was it inbound? The back tire did get around, but it's the front tire we're looking at. Duke Millington.
Let's go again. We go again.
So we've got our judges and our officials reviewing the footage right now. If he did miss the gate, then it'll be a penalty going into their second run. And I think you're right about this, Alan. The back tire, what an effort to get that back tire around, but that front tire really looks like it hovered on the wrong side of that pole.
Yeah, just trying to bend the space-time continuum there, keeping his bike in bounds, but unfortunately it looked like he was just a bit over with that front tire. Look at that slide, that 360 slide out across the finish line. Impressive finish, if you ask me.
Yeah, they feel sick when you get them. Oh, man. Yeah, imagine.
Both of these riders,
I've never done one on a bike.
excellent downhill racers, excellent stunt riders, whether they're in the skate park, the dirt jumps, or on the speed and style course. So much talent on one track between these two guys.
It's been cool watching Cade experiment with the free ride aspect of our sport the last couple years. He posted up some footage of his first dirt jump contest run from La Poma in Spain a little bit ago, and he found himself on the podium of a straight up dirt jump event. No speed calced into that format at all. He's got the full package. Hopefully we'll see him on the full Crankworx tour, but these guys are traveling all the World Cups as well, so we're stoked to have them here right now in Rotorua. Judges deciding what to do with this one. We're awaiting word on whether or not Duke Millington will have a penalty in that run. But we've got the next heat loaded up into the gate. There we go, we got word. It'll be Duke Millington will have that max differential. So we did get that penalty. So he'll have that max differential going into the second run. But right now in the gate, Chaos Seagrave going up against the number 2 qualifier, Lil Rojo, Garrett Meacham.
Yeah, both riders are extremely skilled on both aspects of this event. Both have plenty of speed, both have plenty of style, both riders on similar bikes, so this is going to be a fair fight to the finish. Let's see who's got the advantage coming into the first jump. Nice big truck to X out of Garrett. Riders coming around, putting the power down. You can see the intensity out of Garrett as he's pedaling all the way through to this final turn and down to the Showtime booter. Slight advantage of Garrett with that flip water can.
Extra variation there from Meacham. 3-part combo versus Chaos's 2-part combo. Garrett through the line with the fastest time.
Yeah, these riders are going to be doing upwards of 4 tricks in the air at the exact same time. And those tricks, those combinations are going to add to their time deduction. Just racking it off.
Yeah, this first event is always so fun because we get to see who our players are going to be for this 2023 season. Seeing Chaos and Cade in there is so killer. Great to see Lil Rojo back. Definitely another rider who's cut out for speed and style. And this is the way things shook down run number 1 of the quarterfinals here. Lemoine with the advantage over Blankenstop. Mike Ross with the advantage over Bass Van Steenbergen. Cade Edwards over Duke Millington. Duke Millington will have that penalty to come back from. And then the women here. Caroline Buchanan with a massive gap there, 4.2. She's just going to be looking to keep it smooth. Jenna Hastings over Georgia Astel. Martha Gill over Harriet. Wondering if we'll see Harriet back on course after the 2 big crashes in run number 1. So Caroline competing in so many disciplines here, and she's definitely a wizard at setting them up specifically for the given discipline on the day. Let's see how she set her bike up for speed and style in this Max's bike check.
Hey, I'm Caroline Buchanan, Max's athlete from Canberra, Australia, and this is my tyre check ahead of the speed and style for the Crankworx first round of the World Tour here in Rotorua. My tyre combination choice, we've got a little bit more tread in the front, so I'm going with that high roller for the traction on the flat turns at the bottom. I'm going for a bit more of a fast rolling tyre on the rear with the Icon, but still like to have that little bit of grip and security at the same time. I normally start off my tyre pressures at the start of a week around about 35 to 40 PSI for that terrain, including hitting the ramps. So that's sort of the basics of like how I start with my tyres, and then I'm always open to switching tyres throughout the day, changing my tyre pressures and adapting to the conditions. And that's a wrap on my Max's tyre check. Let's go hit the speed and style course.
Do you like how Caroline sets her bike up? Would you set your bike up a little bit different? If you're watching on the Red Bull Bike YouTube channel, make sure to get involved in the conversation. Use that little chat box. We're reading them in real time right here. We can answer some questions you have as well. You can heckle us. We can have some fun with this. Red Bull Bike YouTube. Join the chat. We got the next heat loading up into the gate. We're seeing Caroline Buchanan right there, and she's got the fastest time of the day for the women, 29.7, but Jenna Hastings biting at her heels, barely behind. So it's gonna be Natasha Bradley with the 4.2 to make up, and Caroline Buchanan doing what Caroline Buchanan does best, riding with that #1 next to her name and putting gaps on her competitors. She just needs a clean one in this run #2 matchup, Alan.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity for Caroline to really work on the extension that we saw maybe lacking a little bit on that first round. Let's see if she can clean that up. She's got quite an advantage over Natasha to work with. There's that tuck no-hander that we're used to seeing. Full extension out of Caroline. Not leaving anything behind, still pumping through, really pushing, laying the power down. She's building, just like we saw her do last night in pump track. The fastest run on the pump track for the women last night was that final round, and that was Caroline that did it. That's that build that we're talking about. You always want your fastest run of the day to be the last one, and Caroline is getting faster and faster as we go along. Natasha congratulating Caroline. I fully agree with you, Natasha. She absolutely smashed it. Looking forward to seeing her moving on to the next round. Liking that drip on the bike.
Take a look back at this snap. We're in that bright blue there, Caroline Buchanan. No stranger to a gate start.
Absolutely no stranger to a gate start, using every muscle in her body to get out like a big slingshot. It's not just the legs, not just pedaling. Watch the extension. That was 100% more extension on that tuck no-hander than we saw in the first round. So she's dialing it in, getting comfortable out there as we get through these heats.
We got a user named Sloth saying any PSI below 80 is too slow. You need some traction in those flat corners though, right, Sloth?
You absolutely do. It's a balance. This whole event is a balance. Tire pressure, what bike you're gonna ride, how hard you're gonna go on the speed versus the style. With no advantage really going to either rider. It's anybody's game, whether your focus is speed or your focus is style. But here we are up the next round. Georgia Astel and Jenna Hastings.
Jenna Hastings with the advantage of 0.6 and a good gate start.
Let's see what these riders got coming into the trick jump. Jenna with that, a nice toboggan. And unfortunately, it looked like Georgia had a non-trick, so a time addition is what's gonna happen there for her. Jenna, absolutely new to the sport, deciding last night that she's gonna compete in this speed and style and able to pull out tricks like it's no big deal. Gets that tire grab. Nice tuck no-hander, or suicide no-hander out of Georgia there. Let's see if that'll be enough to be able to bring up that gap.
I did better. Good job, mate. Choked under pressure, you know?
Oh, the youngster, Jenna Hastings, deciding to try out speed and style for the first time.
I was like, I'm going to overshoot this.
Things rolling really good for her already this week. And she looks right at home here in this discipline. It'd be great to see her competing in all these speed and styles at the next 3 stops we have on this 2023 World Tour.
I get to go get Caroline. What's that?
Here she realizes, she goes, oh boy, I made it into that round of 4. That means I'm going up against the reigning queen, Caroline Buchanan. It'll be Caroline and Jenna Hastings in that first bracket of the round of 4. And it looks like we're not going to see Harriet Burbage-Smith loading up into the gate. That's understandable. Those were 2 heavy crashes. Jump number 1, an under-rotated backflip. Jump number 2, getting caught out by the wind and having to bail off. So time to hang out and rest those bruises for Haz.
Yeah, bummer to see her not be able to finish this competition. I know she was putting some focus on it.
So speed and style right now, but tomorrow, Sunday, we got a couple events. We got slalom, but we also have this big show here, the Maxis slopestyle in memory of Magaza. Big names. Thomas Lemoine, who you are watching compete in this event right now. The cartoon character, Nikolai Regakin. The style master, Eric Fedko. And a guy who is really making a run at being in contention for the GOAT of this sport. The man who locked up the Triple Crown the last 2 seasons, Emil Johansson. They're enjoying the show right now. They're going to be on the stage tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss that. The Maxis slopestyle in memory of Magaza. Are we going to have to be like PG-13 now? Eric Fedko introducing nudity to the Crankworx World Tour. We got a question from the chat right now. Somebody's asking what my trick list would be from speed and style. Are these the tricks that I could have done at one point in time, or the tricks I'd be willing to do right now? I used to always like to mix up the rotation directions, right? So I'd probably want a backflip Superman and then a front flip Superman. And it makes me really excited to see Mike Ross doing the front flip Superman on the last jump, because that's a trick that I love. How about you? What would your tricks be?
You know, I was always a backflip guy. I think my tricks would definitely be backflip centric. Those are one of those ones you can kind of suck up, and if you need extra speed or if you have too much speed, you can kind of adjust. I was always comfortable with going backwards.
That's what we would do. Thanks for asking. Any more questions, drop them in that chat box there. Red Bull Bike YouTube channel. We got the Goombs representing out here. Of course, every Crankworx stop, we got Kids Works events. We got little ride areas, so the parents can drop them off, hit the beer garden, let the kids spin laps, and guarantee they'll sleep good tonight. So, Martha Gill is going to take this bye run. We will wish Harriet Burbage-Smith all the best recovering after those 2 big crashes, but as we said before, it's really good to see her walking under her own power to that medic's tent. Martha gets to take a little bit of a practice run here.
Yeah, it's interesting. When you get these free runs sometimes, you kind of have the choice to lay up and just cruise down, make sure you get down, no problem. But also, it's that momentum thing we're talking about. Now your last run on the course is not going as hard as you can, so it'll be interesting to see how that translates into the next run here for Martha. Will she be off? We don't know, but she's got a nice calm run down from top to bottom on her own. She's got the last view of the track. So it's a benefit either way, really. It's just all about perspective and how you look at it as a rider.
I like being able to answer that question from our viewers there with no accountability, right? Like I just said 2 big tricks and now I don't have to do them.
Yeah, I'm
too easy.
I'm not entered. I don't have my jumping bike here, so I'm definitely doing backflip tricks the whole way down.
All we got is trail bikes. Realistically, both of us would just be doing straight 3s and straight flips the whole way down. The tricks these riders are doing side by side are ridiculous. Robin Goombs, the tricks she chose last run, 2 backflips, 1 on each. She got caught out a little bit on this first jump, so let's see if she can point it into this berm a little bit cleaner and make up this differential behind Shania Rossen.
Yeah, Shania getting that tire grab off, and Robin this time the trajectory of that flip was dead center down the middle and able to get back on the pedals and accelerate. Here they're going to come back together side by side down to the finish. You can see Robin even with a little bit of a speed advantage there, Gets another backflip off, perfect, and then here, the flat turns where it gets super technical.
She needs to be perfect. She's got some ground to make up. Will it be enough? She scored really high with those 2 backflips in run number 1, but she crossed the finish line last. Here in run number 2, she crossed the finish line first, and she still had those 2 backflips. This is going to be a tight one here. Scores coming in. Does Robin Goombs have enough? She does. She sends Shania to the showers. Robin Goombs advances to the round of 4, and she's stoked.
Yeah, Robin, no stranger to advancing. Been on the podium on a few occasions in this event here, pushing the women's free ride, going upside down, and advancing. One of the questions we saw pop up is, what is there for kids to do at the Crankworx events? Well, there's all kinds of things. The air downhill, the slalom, the pump track. We have multiple amateur events here with all sorts of age groups. So if you need a reason to come down, and the kids are that reason, Crankworx Festival has something for you.
That's the best part, right? I mean, we got bands on the stage, and it's not like 1 or 2 bands. There's been like 4 or 5 bands every single day cycling through. You get to rub elbows with some of your favorite mountain bikers on the planet, hanging out in close quarters. Ben Thompson right there, you'll see him in slopestyle tomorrow, but also so much riding outside of the venue on the trails in the Whakarewarewa Forest. And if you want to sign up and race, we got so many events for you as well. Air downhill is always a good one to get involved with, but all different categories for ages and ability levels and things like the pump track and the dual slalom as well. So back to racing here. Sam Blankenstop with a second and a half to make up behind Thomas Lemoine, Mr. Speed and Style here, the #1 qualifier, the guy who won all 4 stops on the World Tour last season. Here we go.
Yeah, we saw Cam keeping Thomas Lemoine honest. Lemoine stepping up his tricks from previous heats. Let's see if he does it again. He knows that Sam is fast. And there he gets just a truck to X up. A little under-rotated, lost a little bit of his speed, Lemoine did. And we see Sam really accelerating and pulling out that lead. Nice triple out of Lemoine there. They pull up side by side. Let's see what trick Lemoine's got. Big tuck no-handed backflip. Blankenstop able to get that toboggan off and get to the finish line first. We'll see what happens when they add in those scores.
This discipline is all about playing toward your strengths. If you're Sam Blankenstop and you're going up against Thomas Lemoine, you know you're not going to make up the time with tricks. And some of his choices in the rhythm section were so unique. It's not easy to cross the finish line first when you're going up against Thomas Lemoine either.
Yeah, definitely not. Here we are on that first trick jump. You see Lemoine with that 360 bar spin to X up. And Sam, traditionally a racer, getting that X up off. Not scared to do some tricks on these big jumps.
Alan, watch what Sam does here. Right out of this right-hand berm, he gets up on the back tire, and boom, gaps from the manual.
Yeah, little bump jump there. When the speeds accelerate, a lot of times being able to play it live and knowing what to do. I think we saw a little bit out of that of Lemoine doing a big triple up there on the course as well. And then this shot, both riders in the air side by side. Blankenstop staying low, playing towards his strength, that speed. And we see Thomas Lemoine going huge with that tuck no-handed backflip.
Well, it's a good run there for Blanky, but I gotta believe it's not going to be enough. He had 1.5 to make up after run #1. Lemoine held his own on the speed, scored high for those tricks, and he will advance into the round of 4. No big surprises there.
Next time. Again. One day. Maybe when we race slalom.
Yeah, next year I think.
Yeah,
All right, who will join Thomas Lemoine in that first bracket of the round of 4? Will it be Mike Ross, who's leading the show right now against the reigning king, Bass van Steenbergen? Mike with the tricks, Bass with the speed. Only one can move on.
Yeah, just over half a second splitting them, so really not much in it. Baz with a huge explosion out of the gate. We know Mike Ross has got some big tricks. Let's see if he does that. Cashy again. And you see Baz, watch this. This is where Baz is strong. Triple manual and pedal all the way through. He's accelerating from the pedals and the pump all at the same time. Just extending his lead, scrubbing down that step down. Gets his knack off, straight back on the pedals.
Oh.
Mike Ross with a straight front flip this time.
Oh, he got the feet off.
Did he get the feet off? Nice.
He boosted it so high, he was out of frame.
I guess that was it. Good call, catching me on there.
Like a second, I was like, yeah.
So much excitement out of these riders coming down to the finish line. Baz dominating on the speed. But will it be enough?
You got it.
Look at Baz just absolutely exploding out of the gate, laying the power down, tripling up, doubling down. And this is where Mike Ross is going to hit his stride. Huge cashy, unbelievably perfect, straight onto the pedals before that turn.
This is your quintessential example of how to play toward your strengths and speed and style. You see Mike Ross here keeping Baz within reach, but throwing a cash roll, basically a front flip 360, a 720 on a forward axis. You know, if you got those tricks, but you're not fast enough, it doesn't matter. You got to keep them within eye shot. Here we go. Let's see if he gets those feet up. Oh, yeah. If that was a side angle, I have a feeling that we'd be talking about that being huge extension. His legs look to be horizontal. So I think he's going to score higher for that front flip Superman than he did the run, than he did on the one and run number one. Scores coming in. Oh my gosh, this run was ridiculous. Baz van Steenbergen with the fastest time of the day. Mike Ross with the highest scores of the day, scoring 276 once you added up the scores for the jump one and jump two. I actually noticed that he scored higher for jump number two with that front flip Superman than he's scoring on that cash roll. Might as well do front flip Supermans on both jumps, get another point out of it.
Yeah, interesting. Like you're saying, both riders playing to their strengths and proving their strengths, as Baz is the fastest man down and Mike Ross being the most stylish one down.
Watch him lunge all of his weight over that left shoulder. Blind, completely blind, basically turns into a flare now. He gets a peek at the landing. There's only a handful of humans who can make a cash roll look so casual. We see Nikolai doing it on setup features now in the slopestyle in practice. It's gonna be an insane show tomorrow. But right now, this is the angle we're looking for. He gets that Superman super early off the lip, full extension, and that's why he scored that 138, I believe it was.
Yeah, proper extension on there.
Mike, great ride out there going up against Baz. This is your first season, full-time professional mountain biker. What's the difference being able to set the day job aside, just focus fully on training for these Crankworx World Tour events?
Oh, thanks, Cam. I think that you said it just there. Like, you can put all your energy into riding, recovery, training, and just having a great time doing it.
Right on, man. Speed and style, definitely your main jam right now, but we have one of our viewers here in the chat asking if we'll see you in slopestyle. You're not on the list tomorrow, but is that one of your goals, is to get into the slopestyle on the Crankworx World Tour?
Oh, definitely. I'm following the full FMB World Tour this year, and we'll see if we can make it happen.
Well, you got the extra training time right now. I love what you're doing. Keep it up, man.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Good stuff up there from Mike Ross. Join the chat, y'all. Your question might make it to one of these riders. We interview them periodically as they advance out of rounds, and of course we'll be interviewing the winner. Let us know who you think is going to win this competition here. Speed and Style Rotorua. Next heat loaded up in the gate. Cade Edwards with the advantage of 2.6 over Duke Millington.
Yeah, Cade got the advantage right here. Just needs to keep it smooth, keep that momentum going, keep these events building, get dialed on those tricks. And Duke's got to lay it all on the line. Both riders making a bit of a mistake on that first jump, and they end up pulling side by side. So it's not over yet. Duke's going to lay the power down, as is Cade. Look at Cade come out of that last turn, scrubbing the step down. Oh, gets that bar spin flip off again. Another front flip down to Duke. What did you see there at the finish, Cam?
I saw Cade almost miss a gate, but he squeezed it through at the last second. Oh, I think he got all three of those bar spins in that 360 on the first jump. It'll be fun to look back, but he definitely removed one of the bar spins in that backflip on the final jump, which I think was smart because he had such a huge advantage.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see how many times the bars go around here. 1, 2, 3 bar spins and a 360. That's a 4-trick jump. So he's doing as much as he can to get that max time benefit, as well as going unbelievably fast all the way through. Hot bars, hot bars.
Oh, man. Just to see how clean those 3 bars come around. Duke getting 1 bar around, but going a little bit front tire high. Obviously not scoring as high as a triple bar spin 360, but also landing a little squirrely takes away some speed.
Yeah, it looked like there was a slight stutter on that bar spin flip. And maybe that's why Cade didn't go for that second bar spin, but it looks like it's going to be enough.
Cade rolling into the round of 4. Exciting to see his name on the start list, and you know, he's not disappointing right now. Oh, this is crazy. Look who we have loading up into the gate next. He may end up going up against his homeboy, Chaos Seagrave. Chaos and Garrett Meacham will be the next heat we see. So Garrett, he's a number 2 qualifier. Chaos, World Cup racer, full-time. Lil Rojo, Garrett Meacham, another do-it-aller out of Aptos, California. No slouch on the racing front, but also a deep, deep dirt jumping background. Chaos has 1.1 to make up.
Yeah, can we get a restart? Get a restart.
We hear Garrett asking for a restart. There was a little mix-up with the cadence.
Fair play, man. What a snap from Rojo.
Yeah, it didn't seem to bother him out of the gate. He was able to get that snap. Both riders looking good so far. Yeah. Nice table 3 out of Chaos there.
Truck to X from Rojo.
Riders are gonna pull side by side out of this last turn, headed to the Showtime booter. Let's see what Chaos has. You know he's gotta make something up.
1.1 it is.
Nice can-can backflip versus a bar spin backflip. Who's got it around these turns? Oh,
Chaos down!
Taking.
Did he trip the lights though?
I think he must have.
Man, he hit the ground hard. So much happens in such a short period of time. It's like Garrett gets a backflip, double bar spin. We're looking at that. Chaos makes it through the 3 flags and then hits the dirt. He had 1.1 to make up. This one's going to be too close to call until we see the scores coming in from the judges. Garrett, big scores, a 112 and a 122.
That was good. Tight.
And it's going to be fun to look at this replay and see how hard Chaos is going for it right side of your screen right now.
Yeah, look at both riders pedaling up and over that obstacle, pumping, and then Chaos right here. Look at him laying on the pedals, getting every bit of forward momentum he can, railing this turn.
Watch these scrubs.
Crap. Little Bubba scrub out of there, staying low and getting a huge can-can backflip. And then just making it through. Watch his front tire starts to push.
Oh.
There's nothing he can do to keep that on 2 wheels after that.
How many of those timing beams do we have? This one might need a little warranty job.
I'm gonna go talk shit to him in the gate.
So there you have it, the official word. Garrett Meacham advances into the next round. We will not see Cade and Chaos going off against each other. It will be Cade Edwards against Garrett Meacham.
Yeah, Garrett, our 2nd place qualifier, advancing into the round of 4. It's not going to be easy, though. He's going to be matched up against Cade Edwards. And then we got Lemoine and Ross, another amazing battle, your number 1 and number 4 qualifiers. So we got some exciting matches coming up right here in the men.
What an opportunity as well there, that heat with Mike Ross and Thomas Lemoine. You know, Mike Ross has the opportunity to take down the champ. That'll be fun to watch. We got Caroline Buchanan coming up next against Jenna Hastings.
You got to wonder what that's like for Jenna Hastings. Yesterday, oh yeah, I'll ride that event. And now she finds herself in the round of 4 going up against Caroline Buchanan, our fastest qualifier.
So Caroline Buchanan, not only the fastest qualifier, as you say, she won this event just 4 short months ago, and she took a gold medal just last night. If you want to take it all the way back to 2 nights ago, she got another gold medal, but here's how she did it in pump track.
Yeah, she was clean all night long. doing exactly what she needed to do, building throughout the night and getting the fastest run of the night on her final run, taking that gold medal in the big check.
Well, some redemption there because the only person who beat her last year was Keilani Hines. Keilani took the silver last night. Great to see her back. But what a good time we had last night. The crowd really got into it. And really the matter of the fact was that the racers delivered such a crazy up and down show. People were dressed like dinosaurs. Kids were screaming. Come on, book your ticket for Rotorua right now for 2024. We have a good time out here. We go, Adrian congratulating Tohoto Ariki Pene, the local boy who took the gold for the men in pump track last night. But right now, it's all about speed and style. Caroline Buchanan loaded up in the gate, run number 1 here against Jenna Hastings.
So both riders, solid gate. Caroline with that snap as expected, and we're gonna come into these tricks. Let's see what they're gonna have. Oh, and Caroline, no trick. My eyes were on Caroline. I didn't quite see what Jenna did, so she's gonna need to make it up. She knows she's gonna lay down all the power and focus on this final jump. She needs to get this trick off.
What will she do? Okay, she goes for the toboggan. So missing the trick on jump number 1 is definitely going to hurt Caroline. Jenna crossing the finish line first as well. Oh yeah, this is setting up to be a pretty exciting second run for these two racers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, 7 thousandths of a second separating these two. Way to go, Jenna. Oh, look at that. Not only did she cross the finish line before Caroline, that was the fastest time of the day for Jenna Hastings.
Yeah, look at that. Between Jenna and Caroline, we have the top 5 fastest times the entire day. So looking at the style, let's see what happened here. She looks like she's a little front end high, Caroline there, and doesn't get the trick off, and Jenna able to get that toboggan to perfection. And the judge is definitely rewarding her on that.
You know something I noticed as well? We'll talk about it after this replay of these jumps. Let's see what we got. Couple toboggans, it looks like. So one thing I was noticing in the roller section and the pedaling sections, Jenna's riding that trail bike. She's got 12-speed drivetrain. It looked like Caroline is spinning out. She needs a low enough, easy gear for that snap, but she can't grab more gear. She's running single speed. That might play into things as well.
Yeah, Caroline on more of a DJ pump track style bike, and Jenna on a little bit more of a short travel trail bike. That's going to play into a completely different ride for these riders. Jenna making it work.
I mean, after these scores were calced in, Caroline went from having 7 thousandths of a second to make up to now she has a full half second to make up. So she has such a deep bag of tricks. Will she try to go upside down on one of these jumps? That'll be exciting to see. We got Robin Goombs in the gate. Speaking of going upside down, she was practicing hard yesterday. We caught her on course and then checked her Instagram to see how things were going. She's calling it Speed and Smiles. Definitely her favorite event out here. We saw her in the whip off as well.
Yeah, she pioneered those backflips in this women's category. She was one of the first that we saw doing it consistently, feeling the flow out here in her home country. Going up against Martha Gill. Gonna have to lay it all on the line here as we work our way towards the finals. Martha with an amazing start there, solid reaction time, getting about a bike length before the first obstacle. And there's that backflip. It looked like Martha got a no-hander off. It was not full extension, so she's gonna have to lay down the power, because you know what's coming down on this Showtime booter. You know that Robin's got some big tricks. Pulling in alongside, coming down to this final jump. What do they got, Cam?
Yes! Clean flip again there for Robin Goombs. I'm telling you, that's a big jump. That's a lot of air time. And making sure that you don't over-rotate is a real big part of that process. Robin nailing it.
Yeah, Robin getting that backflip a lot cleaner in this round, just, you know, really cleaning it up throughout the runs. She was a slightly over-rotated on both flips in the previous runs where she had a little bit of trouble, but fully cleaned it up on that one.
Let's see this first jump here. Let's see. I think Martha barely got those hands back on from that tuck no-hander. Right side of your screen. Whoa. They barely came off as well, so that's not going to score super high as far as what that window is of possible scores for a tuck no-hander. The judges have a formula based on what trick a rider does, but they also have some wiggle room. If it's great extension, they can pad that with a little bit higher score, but if they barely get the hands off, barely extend the trick, they can also shave it down a little bit too.
And you can see kind of both riders really a testament to how difficult and technical those bottom turns are, really slowing down, making sure they get around them, because you don't want that max time differential. And it looks like Robin Goombs with a 2.1, the best scores of the day that we've seen. Like I was saying before, just really cleaning up those backflips, and the judges rewarding her for that.
You know what? It's a good time to have a backflip in your bag here in this speed and style women's category. Robin Goombs, definitely 150 points all day long, both jumps. She could take that strategy all the way to the top. She's got the advantage over Martha Gill right now, and we see Jenna Hastings with the advantage over Caroline Buchanan. Caroline's gonna have to claw back, half second behind right now. And to the men, it's gonna be Thomas Lemoine against Mike Ross, Cade Edwards against Garrett Meacham. Two heavy heats coming up.
It's exactly how you want to see it. The top 4 qualifiers in the men's category are here in the round of 4. Mike Ross and Thomas Lemoine. Let's see what they got. Whoa. Lemoine with a solid gate start right there, instantly getting about a bike length. What's he got on this trick?
Oh, they're getting close to each other.
So close through the air. That Mike Ross cash roll, and it looked like Lemoine may have had a little bit of a slip up and only getting 2 of those bar spins off. Really laying down the speed now. Both riders with huge bag to tricks. Bar spin to exit backflip, and then there's that Superman front flip again. Both riders clean through the flat trick. Did Mike Ross get around that final gate?
I know we're gonna be looking at some replays of that one.
Missed my first trick. Oh, yeah. I was like, oh no.
Mike's like, cha-ching.
Yeah, there's Lemoine. That's why we didn't see that third bar spin there on that first jump. Lemoine snaps out really hard. Now keep an eye on Lemoine's bars over this first jump. We're used to seeing 3 bar spins. 1, 2, and then you see him hits his hand there on that second one and able to bring it back in and keep the speed rolling. Riders so close together in the air.
He said he missed a trick, so you gotta imagine he was hoping for the triple truck there.
Yeah, watch that hand as he gets that second bar spin in, and he goes to grab it for the third. It just never actually makes contact.
That shows a lot of respect too for the game of Mike Ross, where Lemoine's like, oh, against Mike Ross, I'm gonna need to flick those bars 3 times.
And both riders getting their tricks on this final one. One of the things that we're gonna have to keep an eye on is Mike Ross's front tire around the final gate.
Yeah, we're gonna get a good angle of that coming up. Sometimes you can knock that flag off the pole without actually missing the gate, so hopefully that's what happened there for Mike. Check him out on Spotify, Lemoine there, Thomas Lemoine. Little side hobby of rapping. Mike Ross. Oh! Yes, he's leading this run. Look at that nodding head of Thomas Lemoine. He goes, all right, let's see what happens here.
So Lemoine gonna have to clean that first jump up. We heard him talk about the trouble he had on the triple truck driver, only able to get the 2 off. Watch this rider's right hand. He gets that second one in, and then he goes for the third and misses it. And Mike Ross is right next to him, capitalizing on that mistake with a perfectly executed cash roll. Look at Mike Ross cash rolling and able to get 3 full pedals in before the next turn.
We're gonna change the name to a casual when he does it.
Casual.
It's like a chill 3 when he does it. He lands so composed. It's pretty rare to see people throwing cash rolls and getting right on the pedals here in speed and style. Good extension again, quick on that front flip Superman. Lemoine, great to see you back here for this 2023 season. You swept all the events, all 4 stops last year. Mike Ross, pretty good competitor out there, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked on the top 4 we get today. Proper speed and stylers. I got nervous in that run. I have to probably give it a little bit more if I want to make it to the next one.
Were you going for the triple truck on the first jump? We saw you bob your hands a little bit.
Yeah, I knew he was doing the best tricks on each jump, and that's why I probably got nervous and missed my trick, kinda. And I was just like, I can't miss twice, so I secured the second trick, but maybe it's not gonna be enough today, so let's see what I can do on the second one.
You know what to do. Go out there and do it. We're rooting for you. Way to go, Lemoine.
Thank you. I'll try.
Well, I love that right there. So much respect from Thomas Lemoine, the man who won all 4 stops last year, for this, refocused Mike Ross. Being able to spend more time training is really paying off, and he's got the opportunity to unseat the king of speed and style right now, so we can't wait to see that second run. But right now, it's all about run number 1 here between Cade Edwards and Garrett Meacham. The 2 and 3 qualifiers.
Yeah, 2 and 3 qualifiers, both matching up really well on speed and style. Let's see what they got coming into this first jump. Nice. Oh, and Cade gets a little bit outside in that turn and was able to just make an unbelievable move to stay on course. These riders are very, very close on speed. Garrett's going to pull ahead a little bit here towards the bottom and get into those final tricks.
Oh no!
Garrett!
No!
That's cork 7 for Garrett, unfortunately over-rotating and over-jumping and going down.
Oh man, we talked about it moments ago, how much speed you have coming into that final judged trick jump. And Garrett is so good at that trick. He even does them on a downhill bike over huge jumps. Good? He just came in too fast. Let's listen. Oh man, he threw it away. Let's take a look back. Split screen replay here. Garrett on the right side of that replay. That's when he wants to land, but he's still about 6 feet above the deck. 1080!
Yeah, so looking at that, the first thing you would say is, oh, he over-rotated. Not only did he over-rotate, there's a reason why he over-rotated. It's actually because he over-jumped it. If he would have had the exact speed he needed, he would have landed double tire perfectly. But that's how difficult this event is. He was racing against somebody that was, just as fast. He's a World Cup racer, so he's got speed on his mind and ended up over-jumping that jump by about 8 feet.
If it was slope style and the only thing that mattered was taking the ideal speed into the jump for the trick, he would have been dragging into that. Here's a look back at jump number 1.
Watch Cade here. Look where Cade's pointed and is able to do an amazing move back onto his side of the track before missing a gate or anything. Totally legal, amazing save by Cade, and good thing he did because he put the pressure on Garrett and we saw what happened down at the bottom.
That is it, right?
Watch Cade's bars, 1, 2, and then 3, all the way around. A quadruple combo on that first jump.
Cade, we're so fired up to see you competing here at Speed and Style. You're one of the riders who definitely embodies this discipline. You've been competing in dirt jump contests this year already, haven't you?
Yeah, I did one, yeah. It was fun. It was really good.
La Poma, were you on the podium at that one? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. Luckily, yeah. It was insane.
Good stuff. What's the experience like doing this Speed and Style event here in the midst of training for all the other disciplines you're racing as well?
It's hectic, really hectic, but yeah, it's worth it.
Well, good stuff. It looks like you have what it takes to get on the podium, so we'll wish you all the best of luck, and good job in the whip-off a couple nights ago.
Thank you, dude.
Right on, get back up to the top.
Cheers, dude.
That's the best mullet I've seen all week. Look at this mullet. This is an amazing mullet. You're looking down. You missed the mullet.
I was reading the live chat. I missed it.
It's okay. I got you covered. So if this was the head, there's just a little bit here, and we got big old mullet action right there. If anybody else has a better mullet than that, I'm hoping that our camera operators can get it. Yes! Yeah, buddy! Best mullet award goes to this man right here. Congratulations, my buddy. Yeah, buddy!
Letting it breathe. I like it.
So good. All right, back to racing. What do we got? Caroline Buchanan and Jenna Hastings. Yeah, I'll stick around for that.
So Jenna Hastings, the rookie in this category for this event. We've not seen her in speed and style, and she's got pressure with the advantage on Caroline Buchanan.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
We know Caroline made that mistake, missed a trick. So she has what it takes to make up this deficit, but can she do it?
Man, she could flip, she could front flip. She's got so many tricks. Just comes down to how much she wants it. She's been bit by big tricks in speed and style as well. We saw her under-rotate that backflip in Whistler last year, and we haven't seen her really get backed into a corner since then. It's a big season, though. You know she's got that queen crown on her mind. She doesn't want to wager too much so early on in the season. She played her cards right last year and was ordered to win the overall Queen of Crankworx title, but it wasn't without adversity. She came back from injury and was able to keep that points tally rolling. She's the defending Queen of Crankworx coming into this 2023 season right now, but it's moments like this, the decision that is on the line right now. How much does she wager going up against Jenna Hastings here today?
Yeah, you got to believe the week is starting to pile on for Caroline. Racing downhill, winning air DH, winning pump track, and here fighting for her life in speed and style. But if anybody's got it, we know she does. Jenna Hastings, the speed and style rookie, keeping her on her toes. Both clean starts out of the gate. Caroline, here it goes. This is where we had a mistake in the first one, able to get the double. So she ups her game and takes her hands off twice with a double suicide tuck no-hander. Building speed all the way down, slingshotting out of the berm. What does she got? Gets the single tuck no-hander. Oh, and Jenna. Did Jenna get a trick off on that jump?
I think she got that tire flick.
Okay, so she did get one. Let's see.
Oh, I think Caroline's gonna have it. She's gonna score higher for that double tuck no-hander on the first jump than she would just a single tuck no-hander. Jenna went with what has been working all day, it looked like. It looked like she had the toboggan on the first jump and the tire flick on the second jump, but we're gonna really be able to break it down here in these slow-mos.
Yeah, the reaction time from these women was absolutely perfect on both sides. And then watch Caroline, 1, 2. So where she had trouble, she actually one-upped herself in what she was trying to do. Gets that tuck, bars in the lap, 1. Hands back on, then 2. And Jenna also being able to get that toboggan off as she has been all day long.
Something we haven't mentioned all day long is if you miss a trick, which is what happened to Caroline run 1 on that first jump, they actually add time on. You get a negative score from the judges and they add time on. So a half a second to make up here. Caroline knew it. And let's see what she did on the second jump. A clean tuck no-hander, not the biggest extension and not a double tuck no-hander like she did on jump number 1, but will that score higher than this tire grab, kind of a tire flick that Jenna did? She gets her hand on that front tire.
But look at Caroline, relying on speed, getting pedals in while still on the landing, charging for these technical flat turns.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see who advances out of this round because it's going to be a tight one. Drum roll, please. Here come the scores, and Caroline Buchanan advances.
So she's able to double up and fix that mistake and add on to what she had planned to do, getting that double tuck no-hander off, doing what it takes, keeping her speed. She's still in the hunt for the gold medal.
And guess what? Jenna Hastings is still in the hunt for the bronze medal. She'll go into what we call the small final. It's still an opportunity to get that bronze and those third place points for the overall Queen of Crankworx. I love it. We're ramping up the energy here as we continue to just shave this field in half. Robin Goombs with 2.1 advantage over Martha Gill. She's been rewarded for those backflips all day. See if she can keep it rolling.
Yeah, they've been getting cleaner and cleaner as she's going through the round. I expect to see nothing but perfection out of Robin. There it is again, perfect backflip. But don't count Martha out. She's getting pedals in where Robin's not. Robin kind of relying on those tricks, but it's going to tighten up here at the bottom. Let's see what these riders can do. Martha getting that slight advantage into the Showtime booter. Gets the toboggan. Robin another perfect backflip, getting pedals into the flat turns. Can the riders get around clean? They do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to say Robin is safe in this one. That's my unofficial hot take. Robin, with those backflips, man, she's going to be tough to beat if she makes it into that gold medal matchup.
Yeah, not just the trick, it's the consistency and the perfection she's getting those tricks done.
Points.
So impressive.
Speed extended. Yo!
We see our chat going off here. People say, we're getting serious with this music. All right, did you see the body position from Robin there on that backflip? She's in a manual position with her knees, which initiates that backflip so well. We saw Haz earlier be too far towards the front of the bike, wasn't able to get around, but she's so chill, Robin is. She's back there with a lot of space between her torso and the handlebars, which is exactly where you want to be for a backflip on all fronts. To start it, to be able to spot your landing smooth, to be able to take a breath in the midst of the backflip, and have your composure when it's time to line up to that next corner.
Yeah, let's watch Robin coming around on that second jump backflip. You see her helmet stop rotating. That means her eyes have spotted the landing, and that head is what initiated the rotation. It's exactly what stopped it. As soon as she saw the landing, pulled that front tire in for a perfect landing.
If you have that backflip right now, I mean, use it. So who will meet up with Caroline Buchanan in the gold medal matchup? It's going to be Robin Goombs. No big surprises there. That's going to really put the pressure on Caroline Buchanan, a rider who can backflip. Yeah, I like this show.
Why does it look like I've got no chin?
So Martha Gill will go up against Jenna Hastings in that bronze medal matchup. It's great. When you make it this far and you get eliminated, there's still that consolation prize available. Time to roll things over to the men. Let's take a look back at run number 1 between Mike Ross and Thomas Lemoine. We interviewed Lemoine. He said, I might not be able to get this one. Let's take a look back.
Yeah, Mike Ross keeping the master of this discipline on his toes. You can see that's where Lemoine ran into trouble, and that's where Mike Ross accelerated with that perfection. Cash roll coming down. Lemoine giving it everything he's got. He said he was able to stick his second trick, but not quite enough to compete against Mike Ross's tricks.
It's so crazy. That's what we call making a mistake. You know, for Thomas Lemoine, he's been so consistent for so long. He still had a 360 double bar spin on that first jump, you know? He's still got the score for that trick, but that was considered a huge mistake considering how flawless he usually rides. So they're in the gate, ready to rip. Mike Ross with the advantage over Thomas Lemoine.
Yeah, something we haven't seen. Lemoine on his heels. Really could go either way. 0.444, less than half a second in it.
Oh, take. Okay, so you're gonna see here in a second why I'm reacting like this. It sounds like our officials are re-looking at this final gate here from Mike Ross in their run 1 matchup here. Did he miss it? Is he going to get a penalty? What do you think, Alan?
Man, I saw that when it happened, and it's like, it's too close to call. Maybe this angle will be the one. So there, both tires around. Remember, keep in mind, he can hit this gate as long as he wants. His tires just have to go around the left side. Now, do both tires go around it? Front tire hits it, back tire hits it, it's around it.
I say he's good.
I think he's in. Look at him burning and drifting out of that turn.
What does that do to your headspace when you're going up against the champ? You feel like you have the advantage, then everybody says, wait, stop, we're gonna re-look at it. This is gonna really put Mike's focus to the test here.
I think his plan needs to stay the same. You know, you're going against Lemoine, you need to give it everything you have, no matter if you have a 0.44 advantage.
Cash roll on the first, fronty super on the second, and go as fast as your little legs can carry you.
Yeah, stick with what works, you're in a good spot.
Somebody here in the chat says, it looks like Lemoine needs a louder attire to get speedy. Believe it or not, this is probably the quietest attire we've ever seen from Lemoine. known for his leopard pants. Okay, it looks like they did give a penalty to Mike Ross. The only thing is these riders just have to ride as fast as they can. We'll figure out this advantage-disadvantage scenario here in a minute.
Yeah, Lemoine, I don't know if he knows, but he's going to give it everything he's got to. He knows what Mike Ross is doing behind him. And there, Lemoine able to get that quadruple combination off.
Bar to X, I think.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a quadruple combination of 360, a bar, 2 X up, so 4 tricks at once in the air, getting all the points he can.
Look at that lead Lemoine has.
Huge lead. Oh, and Lemoine goes down! What? Lemoine goes down!
Oh, man.
That's what happens when Mike Ross is putting on the pressure with these perfectly executed tricks. I cannot remember the last time we had a final in speed and style, and Lemoine was not there.
You know what? I think he's like, all right, luckily this crash was mellow. I slid out. I'm going to focus on slopestyle tomorrow. But he's still got bronze medal matchup coming.
He still has bronze medal. Yeah, it's not over. He can definitely get some hardware before the day's done. So Lemoine, absolutely unbelievable snap out of the gate. Initially thinking he was at a disadvantage going into this run. And there, gets that quadruple combo off, and of course, Mike Ross, a perfect catch roll. And then Lemoine just laying the power down after this quadruple combo. The 360 bar spin to X up.
All right, let's see where he lost traction here. Gets the backflip bar spin to X, eyes up the landing and those 3 flags. All is going good.
Let's see, he does take a pedal, so he's trying to get more speed coming into these turns.
Oh, man.
And just not enough traction. Lemoine on more of a dirt jump style bike, a slope style bike, which is going to have much stiffer suspension. It's also going to have a lot more air in those tires, so the limit for traction is going to be really, really tight, and unfortunately just not able to hold on coming around that gate.
It's the way she goes sometimes. He was going for it though, right?
Absolutely.
He took a pedal after landing that last jump.
You see Mike Ross giving Lemoine his respect. He knows what he just did. It's something special to unseat Thomas Lemoine.
Look at him, he can't even believe it. Believe it, Mike, you still got more work to do. You are in the gold medal matchup. Big question right now is who will he be going up against? It's either going to be Cade Edwards or Garrett Meacham. Garrett Meacham with a big issue in run number 1 there, going down on that cork 7 on the last jump. He's going to have 4.9, almost 5 seconds to make up, so Cade just needs to ride a smooth race.
So what do you do if you're Garrett here, Cam? You know you got that big trick. You know you just had that mistake on it. Do you go for it again?
I think you sit right there and talk smack right now, try to get into Cade's head. Give him a little poke right before the cadence starts.
See the eye of the tiger in both of these riders. It's a light that indicates when this gate is going to drop. Riders out, side by side. Couple different lines. And Cade mixing it up, does a truck to table, so leaving some on the track.
Hard.
Some opportunity for Garrett to make it up. Scrubbing, pushing. What's Garrett going to do coming down to this final jump? Cade gets his foot just a straight backflip there.
Cade smooth through those final flat corners. He knows that means he's into the gold medal matchup against Mike Ross.
So our number 3 qualifier upsetting Garrett Meacham, our number 2 qualifier, Cade Edwards, moving on to that gold medal matchup.
I'm gonna try, man.
I like that.
I'm gonna try.
Cade Edwards in the gold medal.
That's cool.
Matchup. Wouldn't be his first medal of the week. I think he was a bronze medal in the whip-off earlier.
Yep, up on the box. Back tire above his head in the whip-off. Such a good one. That's a cool thing about making it into that gold medal matchup, right? You're guaranteed to be standing on that podium.
I got down the bottom, I was like...
But Garrett's still a chance he'll go against Lemoine. Still a chance to get that bronze.
I could have crashed last year. I know. I always think the same, and I actually get harder when I feel like I have something to make up. Yeah, true.
Both these riders on slope style bikes, incredibly stiff suspension, very short amount of travel. This bike is made for tricks, but these riders are pushing the limits of how fast they can go as well.
Look at this style scrubbing out of that step down there before he even gets to the jump from Cade.
Yeah, Cade doesn't know how not to have style.
That's right.
Both riders getting their tricks off clean. You see Cade laying up a little bit there. That's why we were seeing triple trucks, but he does the truck to table, knowing he has that advantage. So really smart riding out of Cade. And Garrett just laying it down, giving it everything he has, hoping to make up that disadvantage from that crash he had and just not able to make it happen. Look at these fans mixing it up with their favorite riders, only at Crankworx.
One of the best parts about the World Tour right there. So we have it, the stage is set. The gold medal matchup will be Mike Ross against Cade Edwards, while Thomas Lemoine and Garrett Meacham, the 1 and 2 qualifiers, relegated to that bronze medal matchup. Still an opportunity to grab some hardware and points for those two gentlemen. And for the women, Caroline Buchanan and Robin Goombs will battle out for gold, the 1 and 2 qualifiers there. No big surprises, but they have earned their spots into that matchup, while Jenna Hastings and Martha Gill will battle it out for bronze. That's who we will see right now loaded into the gate. Jenna Hastings, left side of your screen. Martha Gill on the right. Run number 1 in this bronze medal matchup.
Number 5 and number 6 qualifiers able to make it past what that would suggest into this bronze medal matchup. Just building throughout the day with their tricks and their speed. Starts are getting faster, corners are getting faster. It's time to lay it all on the line and bring home some hardware.
Riders set.
Here we go.
Gate drops down. Jenna Hastings, quite the snap out of the gate, but Martha keeping her honest. There she goes, tuck no hander out of Martha. Rounding that turn. And Jenna with quite a lead coming down this straight, but it's gonna tighten up right here in this last turn. Coming down, ripping out of the turn. Oh, and Martha gets a little bit sketchy coming out of the turn, pulls side by side, both riders in the air, able to get their tricks off. Now can they get through these turns? And they do, crossing the line at nearly the exact same time with almost nothing between them, with a .116 differential. And these riders are pretty even with their tricks as well, so this is gonna be one of the closest races that we've seen all day. Unbelievable performance out of Jenna Hastings, the rookie in this event, out here in Rotorua, fighting for a medal. Jenna able to get that toboggan off. Martha getting that tuck no-hander, so no deficit gonna get added. Only bonus points. Bringing it down to the big Showtime booter. Riders absolutely side by side. I couldn't quite tell if Martha got a combo off there.
It's almost like she was trying to get like a double toboggan or something. It's crazy strategy when you have a limited bag of tricks. You go, all right, well, I got this trick. I'll try to do it twice.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a tire grab to toboggan she was going for, but really trying to stack up those bonus points with multiple tricks.
So after those trick scores were calced in, it's Martha Gill with the lead by just over a quarter of a second. Jenna Hastings with a little bit of work to do if she wants that bronze medal.
Yeah, Martha able to get a little bit more trick points there. I think that she did get that combo off. I think we saw a tire grab to toboggan off that final jump, upping her game with a triple combo on that final jump and able to get just ahead of Jenna.
There we go. The day not over yet for this man right here, Thomas Lemoine, the guy who was the top step of the podium all 4 stops last year. Now still has an opportunity to be on that bottom step, and you know he wants it.
It's not where we want to be.
Not the best situation.
Hear it.
It's not what we want to be.
A couple of guys who came here to win.
Get it. Yeah, well.
The night's not over yet. Garrett Meacham, number 2 qualifier. Thomas Lemoine, number 1 qualifier. This will be a good one. A little bit of pressure off as well for them.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe not where they want to be, but you know, it's not over yet. Number 1 and number 2 qualifiers. It's been a great day. They're still going for hardware. These riders are incredibly evenly matched up when it comes to speed and tricks. Looks like Garrett maybe a slight advantage out of the hole shot there. Oh, Garrett coming up a little bit short. I had my eyes on Garrett. I didn't see what Lemoine did there. But Lemoine absolutely shrouping that turn and slingshotting out into the lead. We saw Garrett step up his trick. Let's see if he goes for it again here. Backflip bar to can out of Garrett.
Looked like a backflip double bar for Lemoine there, and really tight gap, 300th of a second. Meacham crossing the line first.
So really interesting, 0.034, almost nothing between them on time. It's gonna come down to the tricks. My eyes were on Garrett on that first jump, so I didn't actually see what trick Lemoine got off on the first jump. We'll leave it up to the judges and see where it all shakes out. Here we go. Watch Lemoine. Let's see what he does here. 360 bar spin, and able to get that X up. So he does get that quad combo off just in time. Did you see how close he was to the landing when he got those bars straight?
Both of them coming up a little bit short. Garrett also over-rotating a little bit. I was glad to see him throw the counterweights out and keep it upright.
Bar spin flip to combo, or bar spin flip to can-can combo for Garrett with a slight advantage over Lemoine coming into these technical turns.
Lemoine will get big points for that backflip double bar spin though. But you know what, who's gonna score higher? The backflip bar spin to 1-footed can or that?
So hard to tell. I cannot believe these riders are pedaling into the flat turns.
Right, especially after being bit by it.
With DJ tires, probably over 50 PSI in the front and the rear. Incredible skill to drift around those turns with that
Probably
amount
some of
speed.
the craziest flat cornering you'll ever see is in speed and style. But as we've been reminding you, join the chat, little chat box there. You're watching on Red Bull Bikes YouTube channel. We love talking to you. It's a sick race right there, Ryan West says. What's up, Ryan? It is a sick race right there. We got another sick race loaded in the gate for you. Robin Goombs on the right side of your screen. She's been backflipping her way into this gold medal matchup. She's going up against Caroline Buchanan.
Okay, this is exciting. We know Caroline has more tricks in her bag. We know Robin's got tricks covered. She's been flipping smooth all day. Caroline's got the speed. Slingshots out of the gate. Here she goes, first jump. Gets that.
Yes! Goombs with the backflip, 1-footed can-can.
So Goombs knows she's got to step it up against the speed of Caroline Buchanan. Caroline keeping that tuck no-hander to tuck no-hander. Here we go off this final jump.
Oh, backflip. 1-footer from Goombs going for the backflip knack-knack. Oh, she scored a 134 already for that backflip 1-footed can-can on jump number 1. Yeah, this is going to be cool. Only 0.6 in the race. But Goombs scored a 134 and probably something similar to that on the second jump.
Yeah, Caroline relying on speed a lot. Just kind of sticking to those tricks that she's been doing all day, keeping it comfortable, keeping it confident. But Goombs, knowing what she was up against, stepping up her jumps on both jumps. What did you see here, Cam?
Okay, the extension, not only does she get the backflip 1-footed can-can, Goombs, left side of your screen, she gets that foot all the way over that top tube, so she'll get full points for that backflip 1-footed can-can. This is gonna be the angle for it right here.
Yeah,
watch that left foot.
Caroline getting the double tuck off, and look at the can-can. Boom, perfect can-can. And one of the things I noticed with Goombs is as soon as she lands, she's straight back on the pedals. That is a clear sign that that was a perfectly executed jump. And then Goombs really bringing it back together. It looks like she's going for the knack-knack backflip there. And that somewhere around this bottom section is where Goombs really made up some time and evened it out. These riders laying it down on these technical flat turns.
So Goombs right there, biggest score of the day by a huge margin, 260 points between jump 1 and 2. which means she is going to be leading this race for the gold medal when we send them back to the top and switch sides.
So Cam, you got to be wondering what's going through Caroline's head right now. She's got 2 gold medals already. She's did an excellent finish in the downhill. She still has slalom tomorrow. Is she sending it? It's only .2. We know what the tricks she has in her bag. What is she going to do in this next round?
I think she's going to stick with the plan and just try to go faster, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Robin's going to take this one. Well, back over to the men. Look at this. Gold medal matchup right here. Mike Ross knocked out Thomas Lemoine to find himself in the final round. The gold medal matchup is going up against Cade Edwards.
Yeah, this is going to be a really, really good run. We know both riders have amazing amounts of tricks in their bag and have been going fast all day long. Cade with an amazing jump there. What do they got? Cade gets his triple bar spin, 360 off, so a quadruple combination out of Cade. We know Mike Ross has that cash roll on walk. Ooh, Mike Ross insiding that turn. Nice move. I hadn't seen that all day. A huge scrub. Back to the bar, 2 bar.
And the front flip Superman.
Okay.
Oh, man, Cade is down. He's trying to get through the line.
He stays inbounds. And manages to get across only with a .493 deficit.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That says it all.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I was thinking it.
Understandable.
But he's not out. Look at that time. I know those scores are going to come in.
Mike is slaying right now. This is going to be such a great matchup. You know what? That's a racer's mentality right there. Cade jumped up and ran across that line.
Yeah, amazing recovery from Cade to get off the ground, stay within the course and not miss that gate. Look at right there, Mike Ross fully insiding that berm, shedding a fraction of a second, but that's what they're going for out here. Fraction of a second, and that scrub that Cade did right there, wow. They're not giving points for that scrub, but that might have been the best style I've seen out here all day long.
All the way down the course, if you were judging some of the race features, Cade would be picking up points, but here's where it all fell off the tracks for Cade. Most importantly, watch him recover and save this.
Such a long slide on that front tire and actually hitting the ground, but somehow not losing his forward momentum and being able to go from slide straight back to his feet and across the finish line.
He seriously saved valuable time by hustling across that line, giving himself still the opportunity to win this thing once we get them back up to the top. Scores coming in. Mike Ross, of course, through the line first, and there we go. That differential is going to be 0.7, very much within reach there for Cade Edwards.
Yeah, less than a second for Cade to make up, and Mike Ross in a situation we have not seen him in before, going for that gold medal.
Yeah, he was the bronze medalist in Innsbruck last year. Well, this is really good to see, you know, the life circumstances from Mike Ross really leading him to this point where he's in the contention for a gold medal. I mean, the advantage going into this final round right now, able to quit being an electrician for this year and focus solely on being a professional mountain bike rider. He has aspirations of getting onto the slopestyle world tour. We've seen riders take speed and style as a path to slopestyle as well in the past. So, women's matchup right now, the big question is, for the gold medal matchup for the women, will Caroline Buchanan change her strategy? But it's all about the bronze medal matchup right now. Jenna Hastings on the right side of your screen with 0.29, over a quarter of a second to make up behind Martha Gill.
Yeah, all these matchups that we have left are super tight. Anybody's game. Jenna with an amazing start as usual. She's been killing it all day long. Gets that toboggan. Martha getting her tuck no-hander off. Okay, so these riders are tightening up here. Only 0.2 differentiating them. Gonna leave it all in the line. Both riders wanting to walk away with a piece of Crankworx hardware. Jenna accelerating to the finish, getting that tire grab, getting pedals in. It might have been a non-trick out of Martha, I missed it. Coming in unbelievably fast.
Jenna through the line first. I believe Martha got her handoff on that second jump.
Yeah, it's so tough sometimes. You catch the end of the rider's trick when you're transferring.
Look at that. Martha does it. She grabs the bronze medal here at Speed and Style Rotorua.
So deep on that.
.016.
No way.
Nothing in it.
Yeah, it's crazy to see tight margins like that. Every little aspect of this race run counted. Let's watch it again in slow motion.
Yeah, both riders getting their tricks off on that first set. Saw a little sparkle in Jenna's eye there on the finish, like, fourth place? I want to see what happens when she gets a little bit of foam pit and airbag time, what she's going to be doing out there.
Oh, for sure. This is just the tip of the iceberg here.
Let's see what I missed out of Martha here. Yeah, able to get that toboggan, just hitting that seat, making it count, and bringing it all the way to the line. .016. Cam, what can you do in .016?
You can blink your eye. You can.
That's a fast blink.
Open and close your pen. That's what I'm doing right now.
Martha,
way to go, Martha. Okie dokie. Bronze medal matchup for the men, and a tight one at that. 0.06 of a second separating these two riders. Thomas Lemoine with the advantage over Garrett Meacham, the 1 and 2 qualifiers. One of them will take away a bronze medal.
Absolutely no advantage between these two riders. .006 is nothing. The winner of this is going to take the bronze medal for the men, and they both know it. Both riders with the absolute perfect start, side by side, coming into the first jump.
Oh, yes!
Cranks.
Way to go!
Out of little Rojo. He knows what's on the line. Lemoine saw that out of the corner of his eye, and you can see him pushing it. He's going to rip out of this turn. Is that going to change Lemoine's trick on this last set? Let's see. Does the double backflip.
Come on!
Garrett holding on to it.
No!
Almost nothing on the time between these riders. I love seeing them step up their game.
That was
exactly
such
what
an
Garrett did.
insane matchup. Garrett going for broke. Oh man, what's it going to be? Of course, Thomas Lemoine won all 4 events last season. Garrett Meacham picked up a silver medal in cans, and he wants back onto that podium here, going for glory with that Cork 720 on jump number 1.
So sick seeing that Cork 7 right beside a quadruple combo and then bringing it in to the Showtime booter with both riders doing bar-to-bar backflips.
All right, here, I was like, don't throw it away. Garrett.
Garrett, a little nose heavy, but maintaining.
Oh man, this one's too close to call. We have to wait for these judges' scores to come in, do the math. Who's gonna get the bronze medal? Will it be Thomas Lemoine or will it be Garrett Meacham? We're moments away from finding out.
Let's add the scores in.
Such a tight battle here. Thomas Lemoine gets the bronze medal, but a hard-fought battle from Garrett Meacham. Way to go to both of these riders here. Lemoine salvages that podium spot.
Yeah, excellent day for Garrett. Nothing to be ashamed of. .129 from arguably the king of speed and style, sweeping last year's season. And Garrett, unfortunately, just missing that podium, but a heck of a try.
Oh, look at this.
And another
all right, let's refresh our memories real quick. Let's take a look back at run number 1 between Robin Goombs and Caroline Buchanan. Goombs going for the combos.
Yeah, absolutely. Goombs adding to her already amazing backflip skills. Right here, we're going to see a backflip can-can. And Caroline just kind of sticking to what she's comfortable with, but laying down the power. Will you see the horsepower coming out of her, coming down this? And Goombs is seeing that and thinking, okay, I need to step it up here. Not just another straight backflip, not a repeat, but we get this backflip one-footer out and able to actually gain a little bit of speed on Caroline through those flat turns.
Ooh, I feel like the next one for her is going to be backflip one-footed X up. That's got to be added to her repertoire. All right, right now, I think, you tell me what you think, but I think Caroline's going to stick with the plan and try to go that much faster. She just needs to make up a quarter of a second, and Robin's going to do those same 2 combos. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think you're right, Cam. I think Caroline has what it takes based on speed. She doesn't have to risk it. She's got her eye on the queen prize. But here we go. Double tuck no-hander out of Caroline. Goombs able to get that can-can flip off again. Caroline, here she goes. Every ounce of energy she has left in today's event is on the track right now. Coming down to the Showtime booter. What has she got?
Oh, she misses it. This is a game changer.
Oh, and Goombs makes a mistake too. Oh, and Goombs getting that last gate, but I think she stayed in.
Another one that's too close to call. Okay. Let's remind ourselves what happens when you miss a trick. You get a minus score.
You get a minus score, which they add time.
Oh, this is still anybody's game here.
Yeah, it's definitely a flip of a coin. Let's check jump 1 here. We see Caroline getting the tuck no-hander to tuck no-hander off clean. And Goombs also getting that flip to can-can, foot fully across.
Count it.
No problem.
She was maybe a little less ideally lined up for this right-hand berm than in run number 1. Lost a little bit of time there for Goombs.
Yeah, good eye there. And this is where Caroline ran into trouble. Looked like she was slightly a little nose heavy coming off of it. Not able to get the tuck no-hander off. And Goombs getting that one-footed backflip off again. And here we see her over-jumping, over-rotating.
Oh,
sitting on the save. Able to get that landing gear down and making it work. I don't know who won, Cam.
I don't know, but I really want to find out who will take the gold medal here. Will it be Caroline Buchanan? We've seen her take home 2 gold medals already this week. Or will it be Robin Goombs? Will she be rewarded for those backflips? Scores coming in. Who will take the gold? It's going to be Robin Goombs. Big risk, big reward, and she has done it.
So Robin Goombs able to let style prevail over the speed of Caroline Buchanan, but Caroline getting another medal this week with another event still going, so she's going to extend her lead in the Queen of Crankworx.
Oh my God. Survived too.
And she knows it. Look at that smile. Nothing wrong with silver today for Caroline. And Robin Goombs. I love it when Robin wins. The surprise in her face.
Psyched. Psyched. Yeah, happy for her. You know what? It's a lot of work getting that backflip ready to do once, but to do it twice in the context of a run, well, what the heck? I think we're going to get a chance to talk to her about it.
Yeah, it's nice to see Haz down there congratulating her. Hopefully that's a sign of her being healthy after those big slams earlier in the rounds.
Well, Robin, tell me what it's like to get... There she is. Robin, tell me what it's like to get that backflip ready for competition. It's one thing to do it on a mulch jump, but it's another thing to do it on dirt and in the context of a race. How did you prepare for this?
I was fairly unprepared this time round. I didn't really do any all summer, and then probably 2 weeks ago went to the mulch and just kind of started panic revving. So yeah, it was really on the day. Those were like my first flips to dirt this season, first flip combos, so a bit of pressure obviously works for me.
Yeah, well, you handled it well, Robin. I got to ask you a question. You knew you were in the gold medal matchup. You knew you had the advantage, and you started to over-jump and over-rotate on that last jump. What was going through your head as you were coming around on that final flip?
Honestly, I was just having a good time. Getting into that final was more than I expected, so I was kind of just like, going to put it all out there for the crowd, and if it does well, then I'm stoked. But I'm just stoked to ride like that.
Hey, we're stoked for you. That was a great show. Congratulations. Let's hear it for Robin Goombs taking that gold medal.
Cheers.
Yeah, that was a good show. And guess what? Oh, yeah, it's not over. Sign me up.
I know. I feel like I just apexed with excitement, and I completely forgot who we have on the gate.
Let me get you up to speed. I'll get you excited again. We got Kate Edwards on the left side of your screen, going up against Mike Ross. Here's what run number 1 looked like.
Yeah, run number 1 looking really good on this first jump here for both riders. Getting their tricks off. Cade a little bit out of sorts there coming in. And that's when Mike Ross really put down the pressure. Keep an eye on Cade here as he comes in on this final jump. That scrub right there. You can't buy that. You can't buy that scrub. And Cade pushing that front end, but keeping his head on his shoulders the entire time. Never stopping with his forward momentum.
If I remember correctly, I think it was about a 0.7 gap between these two riders. Obviously, Mike Ross with the advantage coming into the final run of our day here in Speed and Style Rotorua. Let's wait for that graphic and see what the exact differential is. Mike Ross, right side of your screen. Cade Edwards on the left side of your screen. One of them's going to take a gold medal. One of them's going to take a silver. We're gonna find out in a matter of seconds here. It is 0.7 that Cade has to make up. All right.
Less than a second between these riders, both capable of making it happen. Cade's gonna lay down everything he has.
Oh, they're close!
No way! It was quite a bit. Not able to get the triple bar spin on that 360, so he's gonna have to rely on speed, cutting that track short, really gonna lay it all down. We know Cade's got an insane bag of tricks. What is he gonna do to make up that deficit? Gets that bar-to-bar backflip, both riders totally clean. They stay on the track. Hopping through.
Just what we needed to keep us guessing. Cade Edwards crossing the line first by just under a half a second. He had 0.7 to make up, but these trick scores are going to tell the story. Who's going to take the gold? Who's going to take the silver? Some slow-mo replays. Let's start with jump 1.
Watch this transfer out of Cade. He drifts right over towards Mike's line and landed absolutely right next to him. He looked over at him as he landed. Yeah, when Cade Edwards lands that close to you, you hear it.
He's a big man.
He is a big man. Didn't seem to bother Mike Ross, though. Straight back on to the pedals. Takes a little look over here like, whoa, dude, you're in the lane.
Yes, that was the best. I hope we put that in every montage moving forward here for Speed and Style. Like, yo, man, stay in your lane, bro.
And then we see them nearly side by side coming into the final flat turns, and Cade able to execute just a little bit faster.
You see this guy hugging the fence? Don't run into me, Cade. That's a great looking frame there. Way to go, Eric Heth. Some beautiful paint. All right, so what's the story going to be? Who's going to take the gold medal? The scores coming in right now. Mike Ross does it, grabs the gold. Wow, way to go, Mike Ross.
Look at that reaction out of Mike Ross. He cannot believe it. This is his first event after going full-time pro mountain biker. Not only did he unseat Thomas Lemoine,
oh man,
but he also took down Cade Edwards for the gold medal. Look at him, he can't believe it. Hugs all around for Mike Ross. Good job, buddy.
Oh, what a good show there.
Couple of teammates.
Trek top 2 there, and you know what? Things paying off for Mike Ross. I've got goosebumps for him. This is so cool.
It's really affirmation on a really hard decision, I'm sure it was, for him to leave, you know, the blue-collar future and roll the dice and be a professional mountain biker, but he made the right decision, obviously, walking away with a gold medal here in Speed and Style. Look at it.
Man.
He almost fell down, weak in the knees.
And you know what? He had that same reaction every time he saw that he was the leader in a matchup against some of these heavy hitters in Speed and Style. And he's the guy on the top step of the podium today.
Absolutely well-deserved, unbelievably clean all day long.
Mike, I gotta imagine you've played this moment over and over through your mind. What's it like to have all of the heavy training just come to fruition here, gold medal in Speed and Style?
Oh, it means the world, like, excuse me. Yeah, like all that hard work. Man, it feels so good.
Good on you, dude. All right, Question about that first jump right there.
Yeah.
You're doing the cast roll. You have enough to think about spotting your landing after all that spinning. It looked like you noticed Cade crossing over into your lane.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I do. I thought he was so close, and turns out he actually really was. And a little check to make sure he was okay and kept going, so it was good.
Way to go, man. Big celebration here tonight. Trek 1-2, you guys.
Oh, amazing.
Here we go. Crack some beers and celebrate.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, everybody. Mike Ross grabbing the gold here in speed and style.
Oh, thanks, guys.